countdown is on. It's almost noon time. It's almost noon time somewhere. Where are you guys at? Let me know where you're at. Tap in. Tap in and let me know where you're from. Tap in and let me know where you're from. All right? I got to do something actually. Let me go over to, I got to tell you guys a quick story while I do this as well. Hear this. My Facebook page got hacked. I don't know what they're doing over there. I'm like, how could my Facebook page get hacked? I don't know. It was a time, okay? It really was a time. You guys go ahead and tap in where you're from, all right? It was a time. But I got my page back. So I got access back, but they gave it back to me with restrictions. Now, I don't understand that. Why am I being restricted? And I was the one hacked. I don't get it. So I'm being penalized for being hacked. So I can't go live with my crew that I've been going live with my noontime, my time, on Facebook anymore, or at least not for a month or so. And so I don't know who's watching. I don't know. It could be one person. It might be two people because I didn't really introduce it that much on my channel on YouTube. But I'm here on YouTube doing it. I'm here for y'all. Anybody who caught the link on my Facebook page, much love to you. I appreciate you. Because that's how we're going. That's just how it's going down. That's what we're doing. By now, I'm going to be honest with you, by now, I would have had like a lot of people chiming in, telling me where they're from with their comments, because Facebook don't play no games, or at least my Facebook crew didn't play any games. But now I'm beginning to see what people have been saying. I'm beginning to see what people have been saying about them. So if y'all want to stay in here with me, you're going to have to make that move. You're going to have to make some moves and stop trying to be so comfortable in the same space all the time. You know? You got to move yourselves, find yourselves some new energy. You know what I'm saying? I do have someone in here. I got my first comment, y'all, on YouTube. Tuning in live from the living room. K Rose. What's up, K Rose? Happy Monday. It's lunchtime. Happy Monday to you. And whatever you're doing in your living room, do that in your living room. Do what you got to do. But I'm glad to have you here. Awesome. Y'all know KJ. She's one of the Brown South girls. You know who the other Brown South girl is. Her mama. I know her mama. I know her mama very well. Because it's me. That's what it is. All right, y'all. I think it's time for us to go ahead and get started. Time for us to recalibrate. Time for us to reclaim our time. Let's take the moment. Let's do what we do. We're going to start off and we're going to relax. Yeah, we're going to relax. We're going to do just a little bit of breath work. We're going to inhale on and take in 4 breaths. We're going to hold it for a few seconds. Then we're going to exhale on 4 and hold that a few seconds. We're going to do it again and we're going to do it one more time. We're just going to repeat that a few times and just kind of get ourselves to relax. Y'all ready to do this? All right. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold a few seconds. Exhale on 4. Hold a few seconds. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold a few seconds. Exhale 4. Hold a few seconds. One more time, inhale. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. How y'all feel? How you feeling? Just take a little bit of that time and breathe, relax. Somebody's eating lunch, but relax. If somebody stressed you out already today, you get to relax. You get to reclaim your time. Recalibrate, set a new mindset. So when you go back into work mode, you got a different vibration. You're feeling better. Hey, to my people on TikTok, good to see you here. All right. Thank you for everybody who's joining. This is a new thing for me, for my people on TikTok. So we'll get this thing going. Yes, please share a technique with me. I'm talking to someone who is on TikTok. Let it flow, bruh. I'm here for it. FPG 808. I'm definitely with a technique, for sure. But I also want to just kind of allow people to get in a space and kind of clear their mind just for a brief time, and we just have a brief chat. This isn't a long type of a podcast or anything of that nature. It's just noontime, my time. Don't want to take up people's whole lunch break. So if they come in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, at least they got to relax a little bit. If we go into a half hour, maybe an hour, but we're not going to go over that, then that's going to be what it is. Those are for the people who may have some earpods on and they're listening, or someone who's already reclaimed their time, and at noontime, they can do what they need to do at noontime. And also for the people who are in different time zones, they might get an opportunity to listen. And then for the people who are actually on the replay. All right, you're asking me a question here. What is the source to warm up the air around you? Ask the source to warm up the air around you and wait and see. Dig it. I dig that, brother. I dig it. Heartbeat change. I like that. And I tell you this too. I've asked people if they wanted to take the breathing just a little bit further. They could put their hands on their heart and feel that beat, And you're asking me to do it now. You want me to do it now. You want me to go ahead and ask Source to warm up the air around me and wait and see. All right. I'm here for anything good, and I'm going to ask out loud, just like you're asking me. FPG, oh wait, I'm down. I'm down for it. All right? I really am. All right, all of my other people out here, my people who are on YouTube, I'm taking some advice. I'm working on 2 different platforms right now, so I'm watching a few different things. And I've got someone who is on TikTok who has been giving me a few tips, and I'm here for it. I mean, this is Miss Tanya's Tips 101. It's not just me giving tips, it's us sharing tips, right? So let's ask the source. Source, universe, I ask you to warm up the air around me. We do this with great intentions for good vibrations and positiveness. And let that be spread for everybody who can hear our voice. Respect. Dig it. All right, man. I tried it. Nice vibration. I tell you guys what. If you've got an opportunity to see the promo for this, you know that I have sometimes guests who come in and do a little chit chat with me. It's just not me by myself. And today, I've got someone very special. She is CeCe Mullions. She is an educator, former educator. But I don't want to say former educator, because once you have made the decision to be an educator, you're always an educator. And now she is here on YouTube, Keeping Up with C podcast. She's got a vlog, and it is very, very awesome. I'm going to bring her into the stream. Let's welcome her. How you doing, CeCe?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate you joining me here on noontime, my time. What do you feel about reclaiming our time? How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. I actually love this. Like I love this, the whole reclaim your time because I know that, our days and weeks and months and years can just fly by without us actually taking the time to reclaim our time and to sit and think and do what it is that we need to do for us. So I actually love this.
Absolutely. I mean, if we can't do anything else, I feel like, you know, our time, we can reclaim that. It is ours. So
Right.
I think that we have to be in that mindset or at least hear the conversations that, you know what, that's available and I can do that and just do
That's
it.
true.
Right.
Right. Right.
Right. Now, all my people who are watching on TikTok, this is live right now on YouTube. So you're not hearing my guests. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that yet. There's a whole lot of stuff that I'm figuring out, but I see you in the comments, FPG 808. It really felt great. Uh, I'm going to do it again. So at the close of the show, we're gonna do breath work. If you're here, you'll check it out. But if you get an opportunity, you guys go on over to YouTube, Miss Tanya Tips 101, and you can hear the full conversation. All right, CeCe, tell me, how was your weekend before we get into our little chat?
My weekend was actually pretty good. Friday, it was kind of chill day, just kind of chilled in the house a little bit. And then Saturday, we had a family day. Took Michael to the beach so he can see some dinosaurs at Dino Park. He loves dinosaurs, so we thought it
Oh,
would be fun
wow.
to take him to go
Yeah.
see some dinosaurs at Broadway. Yeah, and then yesterday, just watched church online and did some cleaning up and some editing, content as always.
The content never stops.
Never, never. It's always a content moment.
Right. See, exactly what you said. There's always a content moment. And that really kind of brings me into what I just wanted us to kind of chit chat a little bit about today
Hmm.
is we're talking about reclaiming our time, but let's talk about scheduling. Scheduling
Hmm.
our time. How important it is to put things on a calendar, you know?
Yes. For me,
And
it's crucial. It's
absolutely.
crucial.
Because when you think about it, it's like we have jobs, right?
Hmm.
Or people who have jobs, everybody out here who's listening who might be at work at lunchtime, they're on a specific time. They are on a schedule. They woke up and they went to work on a specific scheduled time. So as content creators and entrepreneurs, like that scheduling time is really, really key. So talk about some of the things, or are there any tips that you might be able to share with someone who is new into the area of vlogging and content creating? What would you tell them?
Yes. Well, first, to go back to what you said about the working and having the schedule, that was a huge change for me when I stopped teaching because I had my schedule set. It's like I knew what my day was going to be every single day. And then when I switched to this, I had to really get myself together because it was like, what are you doing with your days? Like, what is
Right.
it that you need? I kept either consuming my days with a whole lot of content or some days not feeling like I did enough because my day wasn't as structured as it used to be. And
Oh,
so I had
hold
to
on.
really go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Stop right there because I might forget.
Okay.
You said something really key just now. You
Hmm.
said there was a time when you would spend a lot of your time consuming
Hmm.
content.
Hmm.
And that can be important as a content creator, but it can
Hmm.
also be destructive as a content creator. Talk
Very.
about when you recognize that. Give me a little bit more information.
Yeah, and actually, like I recognized it a while ago, but I really started being intentional about it. I was just talking to some friends the other day, and I hear it all the time on social media. It's like, especially when you're a creator, it's like create more than you consume because it's easy to be on TikTok, Instagram, looking at reels, and some of my days start off as, oh, let me go and get some inspiration. Let me go and find some trending sounds, and then it's, oh, after I did that, now I'm still still scrolling, and it's
Right.
consuming me. And it's like you look back and it's an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and you're sitting there still on social media, and it's like, what did you do with your day? Like, yeah, you might have
Right.
got a little bit of inspiration, but did you implement that inspiration? Because after you got it, you should have put your phone down and started actually creating. So that
Exactly.
that it will consume you. And people say even when you're not a creator, like you can just be scrolling just to, ease your mind and wind down for the day. Or in the mornings, like you get up in the morning and your first thing you do is scroll on social media, and then you realize an hour has gone and you could have got up, been up, dressed, did your devotion or whatever it was you do in the morning. You could have been finished, but you were scrolling on social media. So it consumes a lot of our time.
Absolutely. It does. Because for me, I can understand what you said, and that is something that can be done. Like you may feel like, okay, let me just kind of see where some inspiration can come from if you want to do that. And I don't
Right.
think we think about like just going into ourselves. Like what we kind of did at the top of the show
Mhm.
is just take some breaths just to kind of recalibrate ourselves. But it can go further than that. You can
Right.
choose to just kind of be quiet. Um, as my person on TikTok said, go in and ask source to um to bring the energy in for you. Just get quiet with yourself and kind of see where that inspiration will lead you. But if
Mhm.
you're gonna go online, it is important to schedule that time.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
cannot just go in there without a time frame and just uh scroll, because you're right,
Right.
you'll be doing it hours and hours later. So it's important to put content, looking at content on your schedule,
Mhm.
and make sure that
That's
you
true.
stick to that,
That's true.
because
It's
that's
something I
something that
saw
I do.
online.
Say that
Okay.
again.
Yeah, it's something I saw online before. Somebody was like, maybe you should do, because I do to-do lists and stuff, but to take it a step further, to add time blocks to that to-do list. So it's like you need
Yes,
to time block your day. If you're gonna put an hour for content consuming, you put that there, and then you put your phone down, and then you create the content, or you go about doing whatever else is on your to-do list. But creating those time blocks throughout your day kind of structure your day even further, to where you may be able to get a little bit more done than just looking at a list and spending too much time on different things that really don't require that much time, but you made it that way. So putting blocks in kind of like structure your day and structure your mind. So it's like, okay, I need to get this done. Let me put my phone down. Let me focus and get this stuff done. And that has helped me a
absolutely.
little bit.
Yes, you're right. Time blocking is very, very crucial if you're going to be like consuming content. And that's what I do, because often sometimes it's a little funny to me sometimes, because you know, everybody has their way of consuming social media and consuming content. And
Hmm.
I think a lot of people think that the way that they consume content is the way that you consume content. And so I will run into people who will say, well, they'll say, well, I saw your post, or I saw your live, or, I like it a lot. And then they'll ask, did you see my post or what I comment? And I'm thinking to myself, no,
No.
I haven't, because I'm not on social media as it appears to you, because
Hmm.
I'm a content creator. So
Right.
I'm scheduling time when I'm on. When I'm on, I want to be interactive with people who are actually live with me. And then I also, I schedule out that time. I will have a half hour where I go in and I engage with, my followers, and I engage with my subscribers, because they are important. And I feel like if they take time to look or listen to some of my content, I want to interact with them. And so I want to have as authentic relationship as I can, be it
Right.
over social media, with those who are
Hmm.
there. And so, but that's
Right.
how I do it. But as far as that aimless hourly content consumption, I can't afford to do that.
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and I don't know what people are out here doing I don't know that is necessarily healthy. What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
I don't think it is. I can't even say I don't think it is. I know it's not because if you're doing that and then you get to the end of your day and you're like, I didn't have enough time to do X, Y, Z, or I didn't get a chance to do this. And it's like, no, you could have. And then I see a lot of people talk about, consuming content, and then you start wanting your life to be like what you see online, and then you start comparing yourself, and you start
Right.
feeling like what you have or what you do is not enough. And that's, to me, that's where the unhealthy part comes in at, because you start trying to push yourself for these quote unquote unrealistic expectations. And it's like, is that even what you want for your life? Or is it just because you see that's what everybody else has, because you're consuming so much content, you feel like your life should be that way as well? And so I feel
Exactly.
like that's a lot of that is not healthy.
It's not healthy at all. Not at all, at all. Well, this is a question that, I don't necessarily know that I know the answer, but I think we've talked about it before. But for
Hmm.
people who are having an opportunity to kind of hear you for the first time, let
Hmm.
people know what it is and why it is you decided to become a content creator. What attracted you to this?
Okay. Well, to be honest, I've heard it, a lot. Kevin used to tell me a lot, you should do it, you should do it. And I was never interested, because I've never been the type of person that wanted to be in front of the camera. I would rather be behind the camera.
Right.
But then I decided, I was teaching, of course, and then I decided to go ahead and do YouTube. I was like, I feel like I could inspire somebody, or I like sharing my recipes. I used to share them on Snapchat and sometimes on Instagram. And so I was like, well, I can do that, on YouTube. I can go ahead and let's just do this thing. And so I did it. And then, people started saying, oh my God, you helped me. I started cooking more because of you, or your life checks, which are my sit down, like inspirational videos, have helped me. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then it just really became a passion. Like, I really loved it. I never felt like I was working. I didn't mind spending 4 or 5 hours editing videos. Like, I didn't feel exhausted from doing it, or burnt
Right.
out from doing it. Like, yeah, I get tired, but I still felt like I was doing it for a reason. And so it really sparked something in me, and I was like, this is really what I feel like I should be doing. Like, and
Right.
I prayed about it and stuff, and just hearing the positive feedback from people that it was helping, and I felt like I wasn't doing it just for me. Like, I was really out here helping people, doing something that I love to do. And it was different for me because it wasn't structured, like the other jobs that I've had. And it never felt like work. And so then I took it a step further to start offering those um, content creative services to other people. And that took it even higher for me as far as the passion goes, because now I can see people light up in front of the camera with me behind
Right.
it, creating the content for them and helping them to be, more active on their social media pages and stuff, and helping them see like, oh my God, this content thing is really not as bad as, I thought it was. So
Right.
helping people, doing it for myself because I love to do it, because it was just a passion project, but because I love it, and then also helping the businesses and brands, get themselves out there as well, and to see that, content really isn't that bad, and it's really helpful for you. So
Well,
that's kind of where
definitely.
it came in.
It really is. I mean, I tell people this all the time. Um, if you fail to advertise, if
Hmm.
you fail to advertise your business will fail.
Right.
It will. You have to. And the incredible thing about social media is that, okay, you've got an opportunity to get in spaces and faces at a budget that is really unreal.
Hmm.
It's unreal. You cannot deny that you can do things on a budget that you wouldn't be able to do with a television station, to do with radio, just
Hmm.
you know, in the older ways of advertising. So
Right.
social media just kind of kicked in like what a lot of advertisers have been doing in the past. And I very much know this because I come from a media background. Um,
Right.
Having been a promotions producer for a local television station, that's what I did. I made commercials.
Hmm.
So I've always been in the profession of being able to tell a story or sell a product in a short amount of time, because how long is a commercial? 30 seconds. So
Right.
that's what I do. And that's what I've always done, and I love it. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't take 30 seconds to make a 30-second commercial
Right.
or promotion, or it doesn't take that minute to make that minute real.
Right.
And you said something that I found that I feel like a lot of editors are going to be like, "What?" You was like, I didn't mind after I was sitting there 4 or 5 hours doing editing. That's
Mm-hmm.
the part that everybody fails at and they hate. That's the biggest job. That's their
Right.
biggest headache. So I know you love what you're doing if you say, okay, well, I don't mind doing the editing.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it. That's something I didn't see on, at the beginning of all this. I didn't see that I would be spending hours editing stuff. And it's like I'm up 12, 1 o'clock at night trying to edit a video, trying to get it out. I didn't see it, but I
Hmm.
like it because I like the end result of it. Like I like to see how it all came together because I'm like the shooting part is fun, but putting all that stuff together, like it's a lot. It's very tedious, but
It
I
is.
always enjoy the end result of it.
Right, right, right. And you know what too? We do edit content. We like to package it up, make it pretty. You want to put some icing on your cake. A little
Hmm.
decoration, right?
Hmm.
But as a content creator, when you take all of those hours to put the icing on your cake, right?
Hmm.
And you get like 25 views, right?
Yeah, that's the downside.
And then
That is the
somebody,
downside.
right? But then somebody comes on and do a live with some bad lighting, some subpar audio, subpar sound,
Hmm.
and they go viral.
Right. It's like,
So,
really? Like,
right.
but I can see that on both sides because even when I am doing a lot of the editing and stuff, especially for YouTube, but on Instagram, the videos that I've gotten the most views from, like a video that I had of I got my hair done and
Mhm.
posted like a 5-second clip to a sound at the time that was trending. And that video went viral on Instagram and TikTok. And I'm
Right.
like, this is not even my normal content. I just wanted to show you what my hair looked like today. And this is what y'all want to see. Well, I'm sorry because I'm not a hair content person, but thank you for the views.
Crazy.
Thank you for the follows. But I'm like, I didn't even. Sat in front of the window and did that
Wow.
real quick and posted it. Like it didn't take much at all. I'm like, I need y'all to go to the ones that took me hours to do.
And
Had add-in transitions and all this stuff.
y'all got me doing graphics. You got me making these nice little pretty thumbnails. You got me
Right.
doing all of
Using
this
all
stuff.
these apps.
Outrageous. But that is the commitment to it. And
Right.
what I also tell people, listen, especially business owners, if you don't have someone in house who is doing your social media content,
Hmm.
you need to get someone to do it.
Right.
Serious. And
Right.
that's not saying that I'm advertising for myself to do it because I really don't and I'm not. I'm really where I need to be. But I tell them that because I feel like this. If you are running a business, you don't have time
Hmm.
to do your social media.
Right.
And if you're
Exactly.
not doing social media, you need to be because you need to have relevance in your community. You need to be out there. That's just the way of the world right now. And I can't say just business, the way of the world. Just
Hmm.
like we say, people are individually branding themselves. Like I love seeing, like, I'm a woman of a particular age, right?
Hmm.
But I love seeing these young girls out here who has taken it to a level. They're doing their vlog, they're doing their fashion, they're doing whatever it is, they're cooking, they're this, but they found their niche
Hmm.
and they've been able to make all of the things work and bring in their subscribers and they have careers, and that's
Right.
what they're doing from this. And I'm like, if you can have a career being yourself,
Hmm.
okay? Being yourself, I feel like the best thing that you can do, which is the topic of our conversation, we're bringing it back around. Schedule yourself. Schedule
Hmm.
yourself like a business. If you want it to
Hmm.
work like a business and you really want it to work, you've got to schedule yourself like that. Take that
Right.
time for you.
That's
I
so
see some
true.
people, how you doing here on TikTok, Dev? Dev, let me tell you something, man. I wouldn't mind having you come in on the live. I'm live on YouTube. If you could jump over to YouTube and make some comments, that would be great. I don't know a whole lot about TikTok yet. I hope you guys are going to help me learn it. So hop on over, go find me on YouTube, Miss Tanya's Tips 101. All right, MSTONYATIPS 101. And send me something in the chat and we could talk. All right. But back to our conversation, you got to schedule that. Make
Hmm.
yourself that priority, right?
Right. Because I
Absolutely.
know when I first started, it was like I said at the beginning, I didn't know I was just like, oh, well, I can just record this day, just real chill about everything until I realized, no, you have to keep yourself on the schedule or you won't get anything done and you won't see the growth that you're looking for. Other people are not going to take you seriously because you're not taking yourself seriously. So you really need to schedule out your time, plan out your content or whatever it is that you're doing. You got to plan it
Right.
out and schedule it out and figure this thing out because that's the only way you're going to be consistent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Because I have certain days, I have certain days that I write my content ideas. And
Mhm.
sometimes, it's like when you get into that mode and those ideas start flowing, right?
Mhm.
You might be in a space where the ideas for content is just flowing more than doing like one or two pieces of content. So
Right.
if I blocked out that time for an hour, I just go ahead and write down every content idea that I might have within that space. Okay.
Mhm.
So if it is two ideas, five ideas, or 50 ideas, I go ahead and put that there
Right.
and make sure that I maximize that time for myself.
Mhm.
So when I have a shooting day, right? And this doesn't work for everybody. You've got to find your lane and figure out how
Mhm.
things work for you because to just film a lot of content and never get to editing, that's a whole nother thing as well. But I choose
Right.
an editing day
Yeah.
and a shooting day. I have more editing days, of course, than the rest. So I've got my day or my time block that I have for ideas. I've got my time blocks that I have for shooting the content, and then I have my editing days. And so
Yeah.
within all having all of those different blocks, right? You still have to upload content. You still need to be interactive with your followers and your subscribers. So when people think that, okay, well, I can just become a content creator, you're right. It's not something that you can take so lackadaisious or just be
Right.
so extremely chill about it. You know what? You can be chill about it, but that's how your growth going to be.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. And then you're gonna feel like, oh well, this I don't like this. No, it's because you didn't approach it the right way, and
Right.
you didn't realize how much work it was.
Hmm. You thought it was easy.
Yep.
The thing is this: people assume that content creation and content creators have it as easy as the people who are consuming. See, like when you're just easily on there, just scrolling, you're laughing, you're sharing it, you're reposting it, you're sending it to your girlfriends in your chat because y'all got these little laughs going on. Well, guess what? Content creators don't get to do it like that.
Right.
That's not
Right.
what it's about. You cannot consume and create in the same way. You've
Mm-mm.
got to choose. Are you going
That's
to
true.
consume more than you create? Or are you
Yeah.
going to create more than you consume? Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't think that there's a balance.
Yeah, it's not. It's not, and I've tried to find it. I have tried to find it, but it's not. It's really not because
It's
you
not.
have to do one or the other. Like you have to do one or the other.
Exactly. There is no balance in that. Whatever you give the most focus and attention to is what it's going to be. And me
Yeah.
personally, um, just like I said, I'm like you. This is what I do, and this is what I've done for many years. It's just that um, social media and content creation just kind of came up to speed with where my mind was many years ago when we didn't have the opportunity to do this. I come from a day where, like, I've done local TV shows like years ago. I had to pay to have it on. I had to pay for advertising.
Mhm.
You paid for studio time, and I just cannot believe that I am actually living in an era where you have everything at, like, it's in the palm of your
Mhm.
hands. You've got
Yeah.
everything. You have access to everything, access to, a quality of camera, sound. You can upload to computers, editing facilities. You can do it all in your own
Right.
studio or your own home. I
Right.
couldn't do that when I was you guys' age. Couldn't do it. That wasn't available. And it's
Right.
available now. And so I said, and what really kind of made me start taking my content a bit more serious, because I actually have a business. So there was things that I had to do that kind of took priority over it. But I was
Mhm.
like, you know what? All of those times that it was so difficult, and it was a struggle for me to do it, and I did it. You know, I can't let technology come and meet me where I couldn't have imagined it would be, and not take advantage of it. And so
Exactly.
that's where I am now. That's why I'm up here trying to learn TikTok and don't even know what I'm doing.
But you do so good. Everything I've seen you do content, well, everything I see you do, period. But definitely in content, it's like you are amazing at what you do. So I think that's a really, really good thing.
Let me tell you something. I appreciate it, and I want to do things. My thing is this: more. I don't. There's people out there that I really like. I dig how they're doing stuff too. So in terms of when I do have my block, when I block out time to actually watch content, I think it's important knowing how to watch content,
Mhm.
right? And by that I mean, when I go on YouTube, right? I'm
Mhm.
not just looking at the content. I'm looking at how they present the content.
Right.
I'm looking at how they are titling the content.
Mhm.
I'm looking at the thumbnails. I'm looking at what it is that made me click on their video.
Mhm.
And so I
Yep.
feel like you really have to pay attention to that. How you doing, Thin Line Beauty? I appreciate you joining us here on YouTube. I appreciate it so much. K Rose, I appreciate you more than it. CC, tell K Rose something.
What?
Just tell her hey.
Hey, girl. Look, I
That's
saw y'all at the
KJ.
concert the other day. Y'all, yeah, I saw y'all at the concert. I was like, y'all having a good time.
Ooh. See, now you get ready to make me go off subject for a little bit, but I don't mind. But this is important. Yes, I asked you how your weekend was at the top of the show, right? Well, let me
Yes.
tell you about ours, girl. We went to Who is Jill Scott 23rd anniversary tour. And you think
Wow.
we was on tour with her because we sing the whole time. I didn't have a voice yesterday.
Look, I would have been the same way. I know that was a good concert. Ooh, I know it
It
was good.
it was so good. Like, literally, I'm glad that I don't do this on Sunday because I wasn't going to be able to talk. We
Mhm.
sang, we danced. In fact, I wish that if there's anybody, but I know I don't really have that many YouTube subscribers, but if
Mhm.
somebody in some magical, mystical type of way can find out who the DJ was for the Jill Scott concert in Columbia, South Carolina on Saturday, let a
Mhm.
sister know. Because he had, let me tell you something, he had us jamming. Now, that's my kind of music. He took us through
Mhm.
all the eras, you
Oh,
know?
that's good. Look, I'm pretty
We
sure
had a
somebody
good
on
time.
TikTok can probably find it for you. It's like
Please
you ask
do.
a question on TikTok and they find everything.
TikTok.
Yes.
I know y'all can't hear my guest who's over on YouTube, so I hope you'll go over to YouTube so that you can hear the whole full, podcast here, and also you can comment there. But let me ask you guys something: is there somebody on TikTok who can find out who was the DJ at the Jill Scott concert in Columbia, South Carolina on Saturday. I really need to know that. Dude was jamming. We had a good time, but I got to go back over here to YouTube and my guests. Y'all come on over. Join us. But girl, you know Jilly from Philly was in there showing off. You
I
understand me?
bet. I know that was a good concert. I was like, oh wow. Yeah, y'all look like y'all had a great time.
We did. She gave us our whole life. Our whole life. And believe it or not, because my son doesn't like to really be, he's not into all the shenanigans that we're in. So you didn't see him in any of the pictures. But he was there jamming too.
Oh, really?
I
That's
had my
good.
son when I tell you it was a family affair, it was a
Oh,
family
I
affair. I don't
love
know if
that.
anybody ever took their kids to a Jill Scott concert before. I know that sounds crazy, but
No, I love it. I love
me and my kids went to see Jill Scott.
it.
So it was real, real cool. But I gotta say, this content creation is just a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful opportunity for people and businesses. And if
Hmm.
you want to treat yourself like a business, then you might be able to reap some of the rewards like a
Right.
business.
Right. That's true.
Absolutely. Okay, Cece, this is about reclaiming our time and breathing and putting us in a good mind space and taking us away from what could have been hectic. So, I asked you when you came on, I said, just have a good quote, something that inspires you, a message that perhaps inspires you to share with everybody today,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
What you got for us?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily. Well, it inspires, but it also could help us a little bit. I thought about it, and something that it's actually one of my quotes that came out of my book, but I I lose track of it sometimes, and Kevin has to remind me a lot because it's like with us talking about scheduling our time and reclaiming our time. And for me and some others, sometimes we let that get away from us. And
Right.
a lot of it, I feel like, for me, I'll say for me, comes from not having as much discipline as I should have sometimes in certain areas. And I feel like discipline is a big factor in reclaiming your time and making sure your days go how they should go. And so one of the quotes in my book, I always say, you may not be motivated every day, but if you're disciplined, it'll get done anyway. So for those
Ooh,
days, for those days that we may not feel like scheduling our time, setting up those time blocks, or just feel like doing anything, but we know that things have to get done, the
you gotta
discipline is what's going to take us there.
uh-uh. You slow down, slow down, slow down. You got to say that again because I need to write that down. Say that again.
The quote is, you may not be motivated every day.
You may now listen. I'm slow now. You
Oh
may
no, go ahead. Go
not
ahead. You may not be
be
motivated
motivated
every day,
every day,
but if you're disciplined,
but if you discipline,
it'll get done anyway.
it'll get done anyway. Girl, you better come on with that piece of message.
Yeah, and it helps. Like sometimes I'm like, Kevin, like, what you do today? And I'm like, well, I just did a little bit of something. I ain't really feel like it. And as soon as I say I ain't really feel like it, well, if you're motivated, he said like, you may not be motivated every day. And I'm like, all right, I know, I know, I already know. So
Wow.
yeah, it helps me. Like I lose track of it sometimes, but that discipline in every area will make sure you reclaim your time.
Absolutely. I want to read that to my people one more time because it was so good. And this is why we're here. We're here just to share a nugget with you. You can listen to everything else, and there's a few things we could talk about, but I want you to take away a nugget from here. And this is a good one. You may not be motivated every day, but if you're disciplined, it'll get done anyway. That is the definite quote of the. We're gonna make that the quote of the month. Thin Line Beauty, she agreed with me. She was like, okay, come through. She got the clap hands. She was like, yes.
Thank
Love
you.
that. I love it too. That's a good one.
Thank you.
And since you mentioned that was a quote from your book,
Hmm.
what book? Tell us about that and where people can kind of look you up and where they might be able to find the book. All of the things.
Okay. Well, yeah, I wrote that book a few years ago. It's called Life Check, and it's a 31 daily devotional for finding your way back to God. And in the book, it's like I said, 31 days, and one of the days talked about consistency and discipline and getting things done, and even discipline in um, your relationship with God, like, spending time with God and doing that on a regular basis. And so the book can be found on my website. My website is www.keepingupwithc.com. It's my name here on the screen.com. And you can find the book. You can also find merch. I have t-shirts that talk about making impact. One of the shirts says growth is greater than perfection. All kind of inspirational shirts, and as well as the book can be found on that website.
Okay. Y'all need to check out her book, Life Check.
Hmm.
And you can find it at www.keepingupwithc.com. She's
Yeah.
got the book. She's got merch. And you can find her in all of the spaces that she's in.
Oh yeah. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all are the same name. Keeping Up with C, all on all platforms.
All right. Well, I tell you what, you really gave us a good nugget today. You shared a great message with us. I'm glad you came in. Like I told the people, this is just a moment for us to reclaim our time, a moment for us to kind of take that breath and restart our day if it is not going quite the way that we wanted it to, and just kind of relax and just go ahead and power through the rest of the day. Thank you for
Thank you for
coming in.
having me.
Appreciate you. We're going to tell CeCe to have a very great rest of the day, and then we're going to breathe this thing out and we're going to do the same. All right, girl. Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.
All right. All right, guys. Very great message from a really, really good person. Make sure you guys find her. She's at www.keepingupwithc. I'm going to put that up one more time for you. Life Check is the book. keepingupwithc.com. Yes. C let you know what it was like to be a content creator, and you guys go find her because her stuff be looking good. See, I can't not do the things that she does. I bring you something a little bit different. What we're going to do right now is we get ready to go back into the rest of our day. So we're going to close this thing out. I'm going to tell my people on TikTok, thank you guys for coming in. I see a lot of people coming in. I appreciate you. I got to be honest. I don't know a whole lot about TikTok yet. I'm learning. So in the meantime, in between time, if you get a chance, come on over to YouTube if you want to hear the full podcast. It's called Noontime My Time. And I am Miss Tanya. And you can find that at Miss Tanya's Tips 101. All right, everybody, let's get into this breath work so that we can enjoy our day. All right, you can close your eyes. And if you feel motivated, if you want to take it a little bit further, you can put your hands on your heart so that you can feel it. Right? We're going to take an inhale of 4 breaths. We're going to hold it a few seconds. We're going to exhale on that count of 4, and we're going to hold that a few seconds. And then we're going to do that a few times. All right? Let's do it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold a few seconds. Inhale. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. Let's do it one more time. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold a few seconds. Now exhale. I hope y'all feel good. I hope you feel good. Go ahead and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. I enjoyed you. I always do. And I'll be here tomorrow. I have another guest. I've got another guest for you tomorrow. You find out tomorrow. But I'll be here. And you'll be here. All right? One love, y'all.
Poetry, lifestyle, media, 'cause that's what I do.